Good evening everyone. It's been some time since I did one of these. A lot of progress was made, not as much as comparing to the previous year, but still quite a lot. So let's see, what was I up to for the last few months, besides the video editing that you already saw. Let's start off with something that if you're following me on Instagram, you probably already saw. The 15mm Cyberpunk cars. We have 4 of those, 3 typical sedan types and a single sports car. There we go. Basic paint job. Blue on blue was not the best color scheme, but it does its job. It really looks nice. I'm very happy with the gray door. I wasn't particularly sure if it would be a good idea, but it turned out pretty good. So this is the sports car, and these are the your typical day-to-day sedan cars. There's 4 of them, so that's 4. Next, still keeping with 15mm, I wanted to prepare some terrain for Stargrave for 5 parsecs from home, if and when I get it. So I printed and painted this lovely little spaceship. It's also a free design from Thingiverse, and you can see I'm a lazy bastard and I only paint the parts of the ship that you can see. The ones that sit flat are only black. A little bit of shining plasma reactors here and there, some green cockpit windows, and a very big hatch make it for a good transport / dropship. I also want to use it in Operation Last Train, but we'll see how that one goes if I play it for the 3rd time. Yep. So that's number 5. Number 6 is sci-fi generic terrain, another one from Thingiverse. This power generator, engine, coolant station, whatever you need it, it's there. Keeping up with the simple gray, black, white scheme. Yep, I did a little bit of damage, not really happy with how it turned out, but it ain't that bad either. Simply testing, work in progress. A little bit better over here, but still not the best. Yeah, all printed on my FDM, and they're free. A final item which I made with Hardwired in mind, or Exploit 0 as it's now called, are these spawn hatches for your typical goons. For Hardwired you need 4 the amount 4 to spawn enemies. You can simply put a die and spawn them near that die, but I wanted something cool and thematic, so I made these, painted them up, and painted with my airbrush using some easy stencils, numbers from 1 to 4 to know which one is which. Originally I thought that number in the middle would be sufficient, and I can see in the camera that actually it's pretty visible here, but in reality when I look at it with just my eyes, not enhanced by the camera, that's not really visible. That's why I added these 2 numbers. Yep, so these are another 4. One of the VIPs of the last video, I believe the second to last VIP, were the Ork Stormboyz. They finally got it. I finally got them, they finally got me. 6 stands, Ork Stormboyz, painted up pretty nicely if you ask me, and since you're watching this video then you're asking me. 4 boys per stand. Really like how they came out. I want to do a video about the Ghazghul Warhorde army that I made for Epic Armageddon, describing what units I'm using and why, what's their weaknesses, what's their strength. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'll be interested in. Yep, so that's the additional 6. I I've been playing some 20mm World War II games recently and decided to dust off and maybe not repaint but restore my tank collection. So this is a tank that you might already know if you're following my blog for some time. Its nickname is the Pride of the Reich. I'll put a picture somewhere here-ish so you can compare this a little better, how it actually looks right now and how it looked previously when I got it. It's a bit of a restoration work which I really like. Okay, so this is one, or rather Panzer III. The second Panzer III is a Americom, I believe. It's not your typical model. I think it's made of metal. At least the lower chassis is made of metal. Also updated the paint job a little bit, added this little stowage piece over here, and repainted the bag. Another Panzer III. You'll be seeing these two in a video I'm going to post, well, short-ish. And the 3 out of 3 Panzer IIIs is actually based on Panzer III, but it's a old version of the Sturmgeschütz artillery, something like that. It's a Stug version 3. This one I was supposed to use it, but didn't use it in the game that we played. But nevertheless, it also got a fresh new paint job. Yeah, really like how they came out. There are items which could be done better, like the road wheels could be trimmed black, or some more paneling here and there, but since I play 20mm like once a year or once every 2 years, that's not the highest priority, and there's always something I can do prior to the game. And last but not least, the biggest chunk of hobby work that I did in the past time are trees. There are 21 greenish trees, mostly with a basic not cardboard, and base painted with a little bit of brown here and there, in a few in different shapes and sizes, as you can see, a roundish, wobblish, more wobblish, less wobblish. Some of them are more elaborate than others. I've added some, there we go, I added some cork, I added some cork and some stones to make them a little bit more interesting. 21 green ones, 9 burns out dead ones, 3 reddish Martian rocks piles, and 2 rather standard rock piles which form into a nice machine gun nest or rodent nest or whatever I need, some fortified positions. So that's everything I've been up to for the past few months. The final piece of work in progress, which in this case is hard to call work in progress, is the temple complex that I've shown off some time ago. It's actually been sitting on my desk so long that it started to gather dust, so I needed to cover it in foil in order to avoid dusting this piece. Putting it from side to side also made some damage, but that's actually a good thing, because I can see which parts were not glued properly and fell off. Speaking about these two little barricades, the anti-aircraft gun lost almost all of its barrels. Can you see it? Yeah, over here. Lost almost all of its barrels. These were pretty fragile to start with. You can see, very fragile on a piece this size. They didn't stand too much of a chance. I finally got to priming it black entirely, although I can still see some places where the black primer did not cover properly. I'm stuck a bit with analysis paralysis on this one, because I'm not sure how to paint it, to be honest. It's a very big piece, I really like it, but I don't want to screw it up. And I don't actually have... well, you can see that the white is coming through here. The natural white of the PLA, need to fix that. But I don't actually have any idea what color scheme to use for this. Making it a dull grayish color like all the other buildings that I have, it doesn't sound too good. I'm also not really sure how to handle these stones. Basically, still waiting for inspiration. It's the only part of the work in progress, which is hard to call work in progress, that I've got open left. Besides that, everything is closed at the moment, so not that much going to happen model wise.
That's all for this video. If you have any comments regarding my work, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Hope you guys enjoyed and see you in the next one.